Welcome to Now in Android, a practical guide to Android design principles. In this series, we'll delve into best practices for Android development using Now in Android. In this video, we'll learn how to use coroutines and flows from the Now in Android code. Let's start with a review of the previous video. Last time, we explained why coroutines and flows are recommended in the official documentation. Coroutines are very lightweight because they are not managed by the OS. Also, by structuring concurrency with coroutine scopes, you can cancel unnecessary coroutines. Furthermore, by utilizing flows to use on coroutines, you can enjoy similar benefits. So, let's take a look at how coroutines and flows are used Now in Android. When returning values from a data source, you should generally use flows. Database libraries like Room and key-value data storages like Data Store support returning values via flows. For example, a data access object DAO for a news database using Room also returns flows. This is because it propagates state using a unidirectional data flow. Next, we'll look at how to launch coroutines with the appropriate lifecycle. Let's examine the example of Now in Android's main activity. Within the onCreate function, we are launching a coroutine within a lifecycle scope. This lifecycle scope is tied to the activity's lifecycle. This means that when the activity is destroyed, the coroutine within this scope is also automatically destroyed. At first glance, this might seem fine, but activities have states other than destruction, such as stopping. Therefore, we use repeat on lifecycle to specify that the coroutine should only be executed in the started state. As such, when launching coroutines, it's important to narrow the scope to the lifecycle range that's truly necessary in order to avoid using unnecessary resources. Next, let's look at the case of Compose. In Compose, you need to use collect_state with lifecycle. This is a combination of collect_state and the repeat on lifecycle we looked at earlier. Collect_state is a function that receives notifications when there are changes in the flow's value and updates the UI state. In reality, it combines Compose's remember function and the flow's collect operation to maintain and update the value. Collect_state with lifecycle makes this process work only in the required lifecycle state. The specified lifecycle only enables collection of the flow in the specified state. Finally, we'll look at converting to a state flow. We publish flows as state flows to the UI. A state flow is a flow that holds state. Because a state flow holds the latest value, the UI can always update the screen with the latest value. Regular flows do not hold values, so they may not be able to reflect the latest value on the screen. Also, by converting to a state flow, multiple UI components can monitor the same data. You can use the state in function to convert a flow to a state flow. The state starts with the value specified as the initial value and operates in the specified coroutine scope. With the while subscribed configuration, the state flow will stop 5 seconds after the last state flow observation ends. This prevents the state flow from stopping due to screen rotation while still saving resources when it's not needed.